Hello there, I'm Kevin, aka Toying Around.
I'm Yoko, also known as Live and La Vida Yoko.
Hey, I'm Paulie from Bitter Asian Dude Inc.
I'm Ernie, also known as the one and only Fallen Fett.
We're four friends chatting about our love for Star Wars, toy collecting, and pop culture. You're listening to the Boba Squadron podcast. Okay, here we go. Seriousness. We're warmed up. Boba Squadron podcast, Ep004. We are happy to have our full squad back today. Paul, we missed you last week. I'm joined by Paul, Yoko, and Ernie. And, I want to thank you guys because I want to thank everybody because the episode 3 just aired and we're recording this and finding time in all our schedules to, just to get it done, even if it's a little bit early. I really appreciate that. And I think everyone who listens should know that, all of you are putting in that effort to make some time. Yoko, usually you do your stream tonight, but you have sacrificed that for episode 4 for the sake of everyone being here. So everyone, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Yoko.
No, thank you, Kev, for struggling through your illness.
Yeah.
Well,
and all the editing you do.
He's crying right now. It's audio, so no one can see what's really happening.
And it's good because we're in a groove, and Yoko will remember to stop pointing at the camera for visual cues on Apple Podcast.
I will try to describe my motions.
Describe your disappointment in us.
Yeah, does the eye rolling make it across the audio?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Does.
We can hear it.
Paul was still on set last week, and as you eye rolled me and Kev, he felt it. He was like, "Yeah,
oh, man." He felt a great disturbance.
I was like, "What did they do? What did they do?"
Paul was on set. He suddenly clutched his chest and grabbed a chair for balance, and they're like, "Paul, are you okay?" I felt a great disturbance, as if Kevin said something really dumb, and Yoko rolled her eyes.
And Ernie acknowledged it.
Just the way you guys described it, where Kevin had a coughing fit because of his illness, and Ernie choked on a boba because as Yoko, you put it so nicely. You said, "There's no nice way of saying it. You sucked too hard on the straw, and you choked on a piece of boba."
Dude, I almost died on the show.
Kevin's coughing, and Yoko's trying to make a point. And 2 out of the 3 panelists are choking.
That is probably the time that you felt it the most. Yeah.
But we got it done.
And they look at him too and they're like, "Paul, do you have to leave?" And he's like, "No, they're done." That's their own fault.
He's like, "I can't save them at this point."
Yeah.
Well, I've still have to listen to it. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So.
Oh yeah, you got to see. There's a couple points where we're like, if Paul was here, this is what he would say. So we got to see how accurate.
Yoko, he'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to further entice him into watching or listening.
Yeah.
But
Force Ghost Paul was definitely here.
Force Ghost Paul. He's still alive. You can't have a ghost while alive.
Well, just he wasn't here, so he was doing the whole projection.
Yeah,
what was the projection then, right? Is that what it was?
Projection. Yeah. When you're still alive, yeah.
Yeah.
What would Paul? What would Force projection Paul be wearing? Because when Luke did it, he had a haircut.
Right.
Because everyone's like, why would he go get a haircut before he went to battle? Oh, it's just a Force projection of his own image. What would Force projection Paul be wearing?
Well, the Force projection Luke was a younger version of Luke, right? They had him. That was a subtle nod to earlier on when he was opening up the Jedi Academy, and you could just sort of see he had the darker beard and stuff like that.
Right.
So I guess Force projection Paul would probably be wearing. I don't know. What would I be wearing? What would I be wearing? Probably a hat of some sort. Because I'm always wearing a hat because my head gets cold.
Do we think that was the last time he was feeling good about himself?
Yeah, I think so.
That's why that's how he sees.
Yeah,
comes back at that time.
I think so. That's his the moment where he just felt most put together.
Yeah.
Before everything fell to pieces. So, wait a minute. Are you trying to project on me? What would I be wearing? God, I don't know. I just watched another disappointing Leafs game where they blew a 4-goal lead. As soon as I started watching it, they started to lose, and then they lost in overtime. So he's probably wearing a flaming Leafs jersey.
A flaming
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah,
'Cause
you can
he's
see
so
the
freaking
effects and
mad.
everything.
No, but it's
Yeah.
supposed to be when that's why I was just bringing it up. It's supposed to be when you're feeling good about yourself.
I guess that's what Leaf fans feel all the time.
We're all masochists. If
That's
you're a
what makes
Leafs
you feel
fan,
alive.
you're a
That's what makes you feel
masochist.
alive. The anger.
Yeah, okay. Well, then you know what? I'd probably be wearing my X-Wing jumpsuit.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
I'll be wearing
All
my
right.
jumpsuit with my helmet but the chin cup undone
Yes.
because that
No
is
chin
canon
cup.
now. I'm
That's
I'm
a
gonna
crowd
bring it up
pleasing answer.
the next
Mhm.
time.
I like it. You
With
know,
a
with all this talk there about all this stuff, and you're saying, okay, Yoko, you said the happiest. So Paul had to go to that. And all I can think about is, would you guys be really upset if it ever came to the point where they replaced Alec Guinness with our Obi-Wan of now? With Ewan McGregor?
Like
In all
digitally
Force
removed
Ghosts?
it?
Yeah, like how they removed old Vader and they put in Hayden Christensen. Would you be upset if they removed Alec Guinness and gave us Ewan McGregor at some point?
That's a
I'll
great
never
question.
get mad at seeing you in McGregor.
So for Yoko, it's immediate no. I don't know why they haven't done it
I
already.
don't know. The Anakin thing it still feels a little goofy when I see it now, though,
Yeah.
right?
It does,
feels-
because I was chilling in a hotel room and it was on TNT when last time we were out, and I love when that
Mhm.
happens. So I sit back and watch it, of course, and it gets to that part, and it does to me, Yoko, like you.
Yeah.
It still feels weird to me. I don't know about you, Paul, but it does because it's Hayden and then Alec Guinness. So so in my head, it always happens. Is it going to come to a point where they switch it and put Ewan McGregor? And how would people feel about that?
I don't think they would switch it. I don't
No?
think they would, just
Yeah.
because Alec Guinness he's an established actor, first of all, and they established his character well within, and so they keep him there. So the guy that played, who was the image of Vader before, what was his name? Sebastian. I want to say Sebastian Stan, but it's not. It's
I also
Sebastian.
wouldn't be mad about that.
Yoko was like, I want to see Sebastian Stan too.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yoko already has her
he
next drawing in her head. Oh,
I know.
Force Ghost Yoko, surrounded by.
what was his name? Anyways, Sebastian Shaw. I think his name
Yes.
was Sebastian Shaw. That's what it was.
Yes.
I mean, nobody saw Unmasked Darth Vader, right? So you had this guy, and you go, "Oh, that's what Anakin Skywalker would look like right now if he were old." And so I can see why they kind of went, "Well, let's replace him with Hayden Christensen, who played him in like two of the major movies, and we'll put his image there." But to me, as a fan, all that meant was like, so let me get this straight. Obi-Wan Kenobi lived the life of a Jedi all the way through, even went into exile and like melted into this old human, like this shriveled up old dude, and is now set to spend the rest of his existence in that form. Anakin Skywalker is an asshole, and then he recants on his deathbed, and then he gets to live his life as a young, looking young and
Right.
youthful, and it's like, that's not fair. Like, what incentive is that for any Jedi to do anything, to spend the rest of your life in that form? So the lesson is, all you need to do is recant on your deathbed, and you get to be young for the rest of your life, right? So same with Yoda. Yoda was his old, like, creepy self. There you go. So
And we saw him young.
But is it also like the last time they felt good about themselves, or that sounds cheesy to say it that way, but like that's the explanation. That's why it goes back to Hayden.
Still weak. Weak sauce.
You think that's weak sauce?
It should have been. It's whatever form you were at when you get that enlightenment again, when you turn back. So then he should be like shriveled up, burned up Anakin with no arms and legs floating there beside Obi-Wan.
Well, Obi-Wan spent all that time there, not being a Jedi and kind of turning his back on all that stuff until finally he had the purpose of training Luke the whole time anyway, right? But he actually became a master again and kind of sacrificed himself to save everyone. Does that count as... I mean, he didn't really have to redeem himself. But yeah, it sucks. It's just because he didn't get to look young because there was no streaming service yet. That's
Right.
all.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
think there's really any need to replace Alec Guinness, his image in that. I mean, then what are you going to do? Digitally remove Alec Guinness from the movies and then put in like Ewan McGregor, which would be
No. I was just saying the Force Ghost scene.
Yeah.
Ernie, to answer your question, as Kenobi being my favorite character, I think they're both equally would be equally fitting. Like if it changed to Kenobi or it changed to McGregor,
Yeah.
it would be strange to do it now, but I wouldn't be mad because he's equally cool. But yeah, to erase everything that Alec Guinness did would be not everything, but
Right.
for that point, I think
Yeah.
is unnecessary, and hopefully it never gets to that point.
No.
But man, it's great to just be able to seamlessly slip into a Star Wars conversation like that from the intro. It's nice and organic. I love it. There's lots of
Especially when you call it out.
and then it was ruined. Good job. It's like moving along, and hey, did you guys
Right.
notice we're really good at this? Like, no.
Yeah. Or you could have said something like, speaking of the Kenobi movie, did you guys hear that there was rumors of a scene that was leaked out there? See, like that. That could have happened. Then you would have been flawless.
Well, I can just crop out the beginning and end of what you said. The meat of it, and we're there. We're in that conversation. I for one will not be watching any leaks.
No.
I even don't even want to watch the trailers, but I just couldn't avoid it for the main one that came out, the teaser. I personally don't want to hear anything. How do you feel about these leaks, Yoko?
I hate leaks all around. They are disrespectful to the people, the teams working hard behind the scenes, and I will not watch any leaks. I will not discuss any leaks. Thank you.
End of story.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Paul, as somebody in the industry, do you agree with Yoko? Are you gonna look into these? I know. Are you gonna watch these leaks?
Fuck yeah. 35, 40 fucking times. I can't wait. What are you kidding me? I really wanted to know the sex of our child before he was born so we could get prepped for it.
Wait, that's different.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's a spoil. There are people like, oh, we don't want to know the sex of the baby.
Yeah.
We want it to be a surprise. We want this or that. I'm like, no fucking way. Tell me. I need to be prepared mentally. I need to know. So I'm ready for this shit. And
It's not the same thing.
It kind of is, because it's like it's going to ruin the experience. It's like it's not, because I'm going to watch it and I love it. And it's like, something got spoiled for me for Ghostbusters Afterlife, a toy. For surprise, surprise, a toy was a source of a leak and a major spoiler. What's that?
Toys are always the leaks, but
Well, no, but so the point that I'm making is it didn't, in the moment, I didn't suddenly go, oh, this was robbed of me, or this is I'll put it to you this way. Back in my day, before the internet, before they had trade paper magazines, Ernie, magazines.
Yeah.
And they used to have like a reporter embedded within the production, and they would have written stories about scenes and this and that. For episode 1, they had vlogs about the stuff that they were working on. That was like, and people could watch that, and we were excited about, oh my God, they're going to be talking about, they're going to be doing this, they're going to be doing that, and it built up excitement and momentum for the movie. And it didn't give away everything, but little tidbits to just sort of hook the audiences and get them excited. And somehow we've crossed over to that realm where now it's like, I don't want to know anything about this because it's going to ruin the entire experience for me if I do know this. And I kind of think the pendulum has swung too far the other way. And I get wanting to keep certain plot points secret, wanting to keep certain things a secret. I get that. And I'm all for that. But we all know Vader's going to be in friggin' Obi-Wan Kenobi. We all know he's going to fight Obi-Wan at some point. They've been talking about that for months. If somebody leaks it, I'm going to be that asshole who's going to sit there and watch it 1,000 times beforehand. Just because I can't help myself. I have zero self-control. And I'm sorry, but if it's there, I'll do it.
It's different. It's different, though, what you were saying about how the reporters were on set and whatever, like, because they were invited to be there and do that. Like, when it's something that wasn't supposed to get out, but some asshole behind the scenes decides to leak it or something like that. Like, to me, like, you know, as someone who works behind the scenes of a company where sometimes things get leaked, not so much now, but in my previous positions, you know, and like how defeating it felt sometimes when information got out the way we hadn't planned for it and like worked hard towards, you know, something being announced a certain way, and then someone hacks into the back end of Shopify and figures out where your images are and posts them on the internet. Like, you know, like it's like, it sucks, you know? And so it's just like, you know, that's really what drives me is like, you know, there are people and teams working hard to do things the way they want to be doing them, you know, and for that to get ruined is a bummer.
Wait, so that's what you're saying is you can find out spoilers if you hack into the back end of Shopify for these images?
Sometimes, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just good to know. I'm learning lots from this show. Yo, I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying 100% about that. And it's about controllability of the message too. And I've had that. I mean, the PR departments for every show I've been on saying, hey, you know what? We want you to be careful with spoilers or this or that. And I would never drop a spoiler like on purpose type thing, even though I've been tempted to at times. But it's like, I get that because there is a strategy nowadays in terms of releasing when things are released, how to get audience interaction with that. And it's just the controllability of that message. So you don't undermine and scuttle months of preparation for an announcement. Right. But to that end, you know, if that Obi-Wan and Vader thing gets leaked, click. And I didn't see it. Like what? But everybody sees it. Everybody will watch it. I mean, I don't know. I'd never even heard about it until today, honestly. Until Ernie, you mentioned that they leaked the fight, or there might be a leak of the fight scene. And I know Deb, like I'm friends with Deb, right? But that's what you get for making me wait for 2 days. 2 days extra. I mean, honestly, what do you expect? I'm just kidding.
So if we go back to the Reddit, it's going to be like bitter Asian dude spelled backwards or something?
Yeah, exactly, right? Can you imagine that?
Wait, weird. We just figured out the source of this leak.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I have no access to any of that stuff. Deb's a friend, but it's like that. It's a weird thing though. These when you say like, oh, you know, bitter Asian dude spelled backwards, that's the source of the leak and stuff like that. I think too many people have been lately, especially for Avatar news. They're like, and I hate seeing it because like you see my name, you know, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee confirms number of episodes, confirms the budget for Avatar. It's like I did no such thing. I've not confirmed anything. Like I literally, you know, when you say, oh, that thing costs, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, it's a phrase. Right. It's just you know, you say that like that car is thousands of dollars. I don't know the exact price, but I know it's in that range. But then I see, I mean, the publicity comes to me and says, I'm going to show you this headline first before I say anything. And it says, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee confirms Avatar budget at $120 million. I'm like, I didn't. Like, honestly, like, what the hell? Right? It's just like saying, like, confirmed Cody is Boba Fett. You know?
Yeah.
No.
What the hell? It's like,
Paul,
it's like that little joke.
Yeah.
Paul, let me be the first to say and apologize because I've been putting out those stories and tidbits to get more attention, and I've just been getting as clickbaity as possible to get more listeners on the podcast. So
new podcast title: Paul Sun-Hyung Lee confirms.
Yeah.
That's it, and don't put nothing else behind it.
There's no. I mean, it's up to the whoever's wanting to report it to confirm it or verify it. And nobody does that anymore because it's all clickbaity, Kevin. Right?
Yeah. So and it works.
It works. It works a lot.
Ernie, how about you? After all that, are you gonna watch this scene?
No, I don't want to. So the first time, I don't know anybody working on Obi-Wan, so I don't know anything yet on this one, which is awesome for me. It's been cool, like knowing information on the other ones. Like Paul says, like I'll take it and I'm cool and I still act surprised, like oh my gosh. But I honestly don't know anybody working on this one, so everything is a surprise right now. So that's way cool. I don't want to because I want to see it just all happen. But it does bring me to a point. So do I watch that full trailer? Because like we've said, this is just a teaser trailer. is there going to be another one dropped right beforehand? Okay, if it's like Thursday night at Celebration and we get it. What is it, Yoko? Friday or Saturday? Is it Saturday that we get to watch it?
What if they
Then
show
maybe.
Ernie's facing the back of
27th
the
on a
room and
Friday.
everyone's watching?
Thursday night, technically, yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
So
Thursday night, midnight.
if it drops on like Thursday morning, okay, I'll watch it because it's at night. But I don't know if it happens this
Thursday
week.
morning, then I would just wait. That's just another day.
Would you?
It's
You would
gonna-
wait?
If it was that same day, yeah, heck yeah, I would wait.
I don't know, because now I'm too hyped for that whole day. So see, if it happens now, no. So yeah,
I'm totally the opposite.
I don't go looking for them. They happen to slip into my hand sometimes. Really sucked when we went to go watch Rogue One. 5 minutes before we went into theater, Corinne saw on her phone the Vader scene and didn't know she was watching it. Yeah, and that really sucked for her. She was just like, "Oh, are you serious?" And I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Nothing." And then she told me when the movie was over. She's like, "I saw that whole Vader scene. Somebody posted it on Instagram." And I was like, "Oh, that sucks." And I said, "You didn't stop it?" And she, like Paul was saying, she couldn't stop watching it. She just saw it and was like, "Oh." But she saw it. So what about you, Kev? What are you going to do?
Nah, I'm not gonna watch it. I have this problem where if I kind of know something, every scene that's happening, I'm like, it's probably gonna lead into that I heard about, when it happens, I'll still enjoy it, but my head will be just trying to work the whole time, anticipating if it's something that I saw. Oh, is this gonna be the scene? Is that gonna be it? And if it's leading up to it, and it's just like I just want to sit there and be as brain dead as possible. Which
Are you talking about the leak or the trailer in general?
the leak,
Yeah.
but I think general leaky business.
But trailers do that. They're trailers of 80s. They give away things. We watch trailers. I know certain people who like close their eyes and go blah 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 because they don't want to do that. But trailers are a ubiquitous part of promoting a film and getting people hyped for it by releasing those tidbits. I always worry about movies when the trailers are like 5 minutes long. You're like, I think they just showed us the best parts of the movie.
Right.
And then so you're sitting going, yep, they did, because everything else is filler. And that's for me, those are the bells that go off, right? But really at the end of the day too, it is about living in the moment. Just being present in what you're seeing. So I will watch, I mean, the stuff that we saw even in that little the teaser trailer for Obi-Wan got me so jacked up. Like, so, and we'll see those moments again, but it's not going to take away. Oh, I saw this in the trailer. It doesn't do that to me. It's like, oh, this is the context for this now. I get it.
Is good enough, I think, right? Like as long as the movie as long as what you're watching is good, I think it'll take.
Right.
So, what I was thinking was, I know I'll watch things and I can't think of a specific example, but like I'll be watching something, or because it'll come up in midnight 30 sometimes, and then people will be like, "Oh, but we saw this in the trailer," and I'm like, I didn't even think about the trailer, like if what I'm watching, if what I'm watching has my attention enough, like I'm not thinking, like I'm able to live in that story that's happening. I think when a movie is like boring or slow or like not not great, that's when your mind starts to wander and you start to think about.
Is this why you didn't like Dumb and Dumber? We're gonna have words about that.
Oh shoot! Did you watch it, Yoko, or you watched like you didn't want to watch it, or you watched it?
I mean, I watched it a long time ago and I hated it. Like as a kid, I hated it. Yeah.
You sound like a fun kid to hang.
I was.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
No.
Oh, did you hear that? Her eyes rolled so hard. I think she sprained an ocular nerve.
It's funny, Apple Podcast has a lot of metrics, and number of eye rolls is actually. I was really surprised to see it on there. It's insane the amount of information that they have.
Oh my god!
It's actually scary how technology works nowadays.
So this is a great segue. Like speaking of movies, now you said something in the Discord chat a while back. Now this is before the last podcast. You did, Kevin. Yeah, I'm pointing at the freaking monitor. There you go. It's spreading.
Kevin's trying.
Yes. And these were like shocking words, but the assignment was to watch Alien, the first movie, Ridley Scott's 1979 classic, sci-fi horror classic, and you said you did not like it.
I don't think my words were I didn't like it. I don't think I was as wowed, and I think watching The Thing and how crazy,
Thing was just too good.
how gross it was, it set the bar really high in terms of fucked upness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a word I will use to rate things going forward. Again, the John Carpenter, the prosthetics, the aliens that you used in that movie. Watching it right before, the week before, I was like, okay, Paul, you're a little deranged, but you love Alien. You love Alien, and you know what? We'll give Alien a go. And I thought it would be something similar, but I guess this was more sci-fi and less of like. But it was still crazy, and I think I'd seen too many of the Alien toys around to I kind of knew what it looked like. Whereas The Thing, I was fresh,
Okay.
And
So first things first, did you watch Alien on your phone or on the TV?
I watched it on my TV.
Okay. During the day or at night?
During the day. I feel like a lot of judgment in this line of questioning.
You may proceed, Paul.
Yeah. The thing is, what you have to realize too is, in terms of that type of genre movie, Alien really was quite groundbreaking, and it predates The Thing.
Mm.
The Thing was 1982, right? Alien was 1979. It really was sort of self-described as like a haunted house in space. That was the whole thing. And yeah, maybe perhaps you've seen the Alien design, you know what to expect, but if watching that movie for the first time as a child, not knowing what the Alien design was, not having any sort of familiarity with H.R. Giger's his aesthetic for the biomechanical human like creature designs. I mean, that movie really was, because you didn't know what the hell was happening. All like the horrifying instances of like the egg opening up and it being the face hugger being strong enough to melt through a dude's space helmet, right to the chest burster scene. And the fact that they think they're hunting this little thing that's about 6 inches tall, and it grows to something that's over 6 feet tall,
Right?
And they don't know where it is, and it's moving in the shadows. I mean, all those elements of that kind of suspenseful horror, I thought was groundbreaking at the time, and there are influences that are absolutely felt, and that John Carpenter used in The Thing. Right, like that whole idea of like not knowing where it is, who it could be, the horror of it suddenly appearing. Like there are a lot of great jump scares in Alien that are well deserved, and the fact that the alien blends in so seamlessly with the machinery of the Nostromo too is another thing, right? I mean, like
the shuttle, the escape shuttle.
Yeah, like where it just pops up. But there's another one where it's like when Brett walks in and he's looking for Jonesy. It's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And here's the thing. I never spotted it. All these years of knowing it, of watching the movie, it wasn't until Noah, we're watching it, the 4K remastered version, which is gorgeous. If you have a 4K player and an OLED screen TV, watch Alien. That transfer, that remaster is spectacular. But Brett is walking through, he's like, Jonesy. The fucking alien is hanging there. And I never spotted it until Noah said, oh my God, it's right there. I was like, what? We rewound it. And it was like just in plain sight, just freaking hanging upside down. And in the years, like the decades, I never spotted that in that wide shot that it was there.
That's awesome.
I've heard that it's really more apparent when you're watching it on the mobile version.
as the filmmakers intended it to be, right?
Absolutely. But I think I found myself more in awe of the entire setting and the sets and props for everything. The planet that they land on, the outer side of the ship, the Nostromos, how detailed everything was, like inside the ship, the room where they eat, everything. I thought all of that stuff in terms of like a movie set, I'm like, this stuff looks really, really cool. Even though obviously now some of the screens and stuff are dated, which makes sense. But overall, I'm like, these are great sets and great props, and everything looks fantastic. I really like that.
Yeah, it was the start of sci-fi. It was so much of that suspensefulness. All of those of the slow turns and the slow shots where you felt a jump scare coming, but nobody knew that, and it was very cool. The only thing that gets me now is so old is our movies have adapted so much from our figures and our toys that this alien has become so horrific and crazy with all the toys and everything of the growth. To see the original Alien movie and how it just stands straight and the arms out, from that very first costume, that's weird now, knowing of what we've adapted to like that. But it goes along with the story of the adaptation, like Paul was saying, of how it grows from this little thing from your chest burster to the alien itself. And then now the movies that we're in is that. Are you guys willing, though, after seeing this, to go through the franchise or even the prequel of Prometheus, like to try it? Or no, it's like,
Yeah,
that was cool. I saw Alien.
I was gonna watch Alien 2, Son of Alien today, but I had to edit a video today.
I think that's the wrong movie.
Yeah,
I think you might actually be watching the porno version if
The science folder version.
Yeah.
Science folder.
I'm sure there is a X-rated version of Alien. I mean, all those tentacles and everything.
Yeah, but it's
out
not
there.
called that, though.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
What is it called, Ernie? What is it
It's
called?
Kidding.
It's called
I don't
An
know.
Alien.
Yeah, it's
In
different.
space, nobody can hear you. F.
No, the title of the movie is
No.
Alien, and it's spelled A.Lien, like it's her name.
Yeah.
And then it says,
it's
in
Alien.
space, everyone can hear you scream. So
No.
It
In
was
space,
all right.
no one. It's in space. No one can hear you cream. Is what it is.
No.
See, we got to trademark it all. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. You're right. Wow.
For the podcast listeners, that was a slow clap.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Man, that was great.
Well, there's no topping that. Yoko, you want to give it a try, or she's like, I want out of this podcast now.
I know. Oh, look
I
at
have
the time. Look at the
Certain
time.
reputation to maintain.
Where did the time go? God,
Well,
it was
it's about
right
that
there,
time.
too. Neither of us could got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch Alien 2, the proper version for Aliens, just Aliens.
Call it Aliens. Please don't call it
Yes.
Alien 2.
Son of like Jaws 2, Son of Jaws, where
No, it's not what it's called. It's just called Jaws 2. I don't know why I'm getting so defensive over it.
well the same
Stop.
reason Ernie got upset about the porn version of Alien, because you hold that film very near and dear to your heart, that when someone gets the name wrong, you're like, oh hell no, I'm not going to stand for this.
I thought you were going to go into the whole, Cody being confirmed.
That, too.
It's
He's
not
not.
Boba Fett in the book of
It's
Boba
not
Fett.
Boba Fett.
I think it's a great theory. I think
No.
confirmed it was Cody all along.
Deserves to be explored for sure.
Mm.
Wait, Jonesy here just went exploring on his own. He went into a box that was under another box, somehow crawled into it, and then crawled back out.
Jeez.
That's what Larry just did.
Did you?
There were-
Is your cat's name really Jonesy?
No, it's Larry.
Okay.
Larry and Lucy.
Paul got really excited.
Yeah, I did actually. I was like, oh, that's extra points for geek value.
No.
It has an orange tabby named Jonesy. I think
Yeah,
that's
no, I hadn't seen it yet when I got them,
right.
but I've seen it. I saw it before.
And what did you think of it?
I liked it. It's like I wish I had rewatched it again so it was fresher in my memory.
Voice got suspiciously high there, Yoko.
Huh?
Your voice got suspiciously high there. Like, I liked it.
I know. I liked it. I just don't feel like I remember it well enough to be like, oh, I loved it. Because I feel like I would remember it a little bit. Honestly, I just remember. I feel like I remember the end the most with her and the power loader and the cat, and I was just worried about the cat.
That was Aliens.
Oh, what?
Alien 2,
Power
Yoko.
loader?
Even
Yeah.
I know that.
See, I'm confused.
Alien
the cat
is
went back to space too, or was the cat not there that time?
the cat was in both movies, but
Uh-huh.
the cat was more prevalent in Alien, and
Yeah.
in the end, she stuffs him into a cat carrier. She goes
Yeah.
back to the cat,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But the end of Alien, she escapes in the shuttle pod and blows up the Nostromo.
Yeah.
And it turns out the alien is stowed away on the shuttlecraft, and she blows it into space. Like she sneaks into a spacesuit, gets into her space underwear, sneaks into a spacesuit, and then blows that out the airlock.
Yeah.
In Aliens, the cat is at the beginning of the movie but stays behind.
Spoiler. No spoilers.
He's
La, la,
having
la,
an
la.
aneurysm.
That's right.
No
He's
spoilers.
crowing about how, even I knew those shoes in the end with the power
Yeah.
loader. And I'm talking about a cat at the beginning of the movies. But
I know. I do feel like Aliens was, I don't want to say better, but better than Alien. And I feel like that's the most, I feel like that's a like a general agreement though, right?
Yeah.
Like most people liked Aliens more than Alien.
Well, but there's different genres. They're almost completely different genre movies, even though they have the same character and the same alien. And you'll find a lot of fans sort of bickering over it. Like fans who really loved Alien were really mad about how they were treated, how that the creature was treated or represented in Aliens, because gone was the cunningness of the the beast. It was like in Alien, it was a single alien that wreaked all that havoc, was super smart, super scary, super like deadly. And in Aliens, which is a flat out action film instead of a suspense horror, it's Alien. It's a different genre. It's an action film, right? And it's like people got mad because they just got blown away left, right, and center type thing. And so
Aliens is by who? What's his
James
name?
Cameron.
Thank you. I couldn't remember it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I realized that either. That was
Yeah. So that kind of set his staple
Right,
of his action
cool.
stuff.
Well, I mean, I think it would be fair to say Terminator was the first movie to really do that, and then Aliens afterwards.
But to say that it was called an action movie, because it
Right.
was like everybody did, they called it an action movie,
Right.
and that's what
And
he
then
does.
Alien 3, which was directed by David Fincher. I mean, again, that was a completely different type of movie, but a lot of people were complaining. It's like an alien movie without guns. How could you do that? It's like, well, the first Alien didn't have any guns. So it's this weird, it's this really interesting franchise where all the movies were so different from each other.
Yeah.
And then Alien Resurrection was like a French art house film. Right? We watched it, it's like, oh, okay. It's very different. Very different.
Oh.
So it's a fascinating franchise to watch. And then you get Prometheus, and then you get Covenant, Alien Covenant.
I've seen those two.
You've seen those two, yeah.
I've seen Prometheus and Covenant. I don't think I saw 3 or Resurrection. So you just said?
Well,
yeah.
For Alien 3, it's interesting because there's a theatrical cut, then there's the director's cut, which is really different. And that's a pretty cool watch because it's David Fincher's first film. Because he had been doing music videos up until then, and Alien 3 was his first feature film. And so that's really cool because now he's ubiquitous with, like, he did Fight Club, Panic Room, Social Network. He's become this really sort of respected director who's got a very sharp sense of aesthetic and storytelling. And so, like, to see this was his first movie and what he wanted to do with it versus what was actually released, because the studio stepped in and hacked up his movie and presented what's out there. And so with this director's cut being out now, it's really cool because you could see the direction he wanted to take it, and it is a better movie.
That makes me I like that we went into it more because I am more interested in watching the follow-up films, knowing that they're so different. When I watched Alien, it seemed to me very much like a sci-fi movie with a killer alien in it. But the jump scares and everything, it almost seems secondary. But thinking back on it, there is some stuff that had me super tensed up. And when I say that, I mean when they first find that ship, and I haven't watched it enough to remember everyone's names, but they lower him down on that rope, and he's just describing, and I'm just picturing, you're in the sweaty helmet, and I can't even wear my glasses, and when they fog up, I can't even see. But this guy, that's all he can see is his domed helmet, and it's all foggy, and it's just rows upon rows of eggs. It's all hot in that ship, and I'm like, oh my.
Which one is Game Over? It's Game Over, man. Which one is that?
That's Aliens.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember Aliens a lot better than Alien.
Sorry, Bill Paxton, not Bill Hudson.
Yeah.
It's Private Hudson and Bill Paxton playing that iconic Game Over, man. Game over. Now what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Sorry, Kev. Spoilers.
All right, so I guess we're moving on to the next movie.
The look on his face. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait for the video replay of this to come out.
Am I just gonna do a replay of myself? Just
There was the whole face of, well, now I'm not even gonna watch it.
okay. So should we do Alien 2, Son of Alien, or yeah, let's do that. I'll watch that. And
you want to do next, Alien?
It's very fresh on Yoko's memory anyway.
Apparently.
And the cool
you know what's gonna suck is Yoko's gonna rewatch it and she's gonna go, "This sucked. Why do I remember it so much?"
Or like the twist is I never watched Alien.
There are two cuts of Aliens.
Huh.
There's the theatrical and the director's cut. I would recommend the director's cut, just because there's a couple of extra scenes there that really helps shape the story a little bit more. I mean, that's, and James Cameron has gone on record saying this is the cut that he prefers. So I would watch that if you get a chance. It just delves a little bit more to Ripley's backstory, which Sigourney Weaver got an Oscar nomination for, by the way. She was like, the first time a woman got one for an action movie, I think was great. She didn't win it. I think she deserved to, but I think she was up against Meryl Streep that year. So that's a tough one. But yeah, check out the director's cut, Aliens by James Cameron.
All right. I will look for that version on my phone.
On your phone.
The look of defeat on Paul's face.
Yeah. Talk about another look that the listeners can't see. And for the listeners at home, please, it is not what Kevin is saying of Alien 2. Please don't look that up. It's Aliens with an S, because we know you guys are doing the homework along with us. Yeah. Please don't Google it. Yeah, because it's a whole different movie.
Every week there's a Google assignment, and then now we're telling people not to Google stuff. You know they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna message me, Kevin, why? My daughter asked me, say, Dad, what's Scarface mean?
Dave.
Wait, and what did you say?
Wait 2 years.
2? She's only 6.
I know. That's what he said. Wait 2 years.
Oh, man. I should rewatch that. I miss it.
Scarface?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
So long.
Haven't seen Scarface?
The look on your face, Kevin.
I haven't seen Godfather either. Or Goodfellas or any of those. I haven't seen that. I like gangster genre has not been for me.
Well, I think we should make Yoko watch.
Yeah, now I know how you guys feel.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the feeling where I had the sudden urge to go, dumbass? Is that where it comes from?
It does.
Did I ever find my list of
Oh, you okay?
Anytime I hear that, I just automatically want to start quoting movies that, even though you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I feel like I get the references, like they're so
Yeah.
prevalent.
Every time, Ernie, you do that voice, Yoko just thinks you're talking normal.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand why sometimes Ernie goes heavy accent and sometimes he doesn't. Why? It's really weird.
You should start off with Godfather. Just start off
Yeah.
with the 1970s, like the movie.
Not until it's our official homework assignment.
That's right. But when you do, start with The Godfather, and then move like Godfather.
There's a new
1 and
movie
2.
about the making of Godfather. I saw a trailer yesterday.
Okay. Well, those are seminal moments in American cinema history, especially for the whole gangster genre. And then, watch Goodfellas. I'd watch Goodfellas after that. And then watch The Untouchables, which is kind of a really
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one, too, that just sort of it's a little bit more fun, like that just the
I
type
think
of
I've seen that
movie.
one. I was a
With The
film
Godfather,
major
you
for a
get-
minute.
What's that?
I was originally a film major in college, so I had like
No.
a film history class, and I feel like Untouchables was one of them.
Nice.
And then I decided I wanted to make
Yeah.
money, and I switched to
Sean
marketing.
Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery, who's supposed to be doing an Irish accent, but it's Scottish.
Did I see this, or have I just read about it? I don't know.
Kevin
Did they
Costner.
ever explain why Sean Connery was in The Hunt for Red October? Was he actually Russian?
Yeah, he was playing a Russian character.
Okay, so they didn't make it like a backstory for him, like that he was a Russian in that movie.
No, his character was Russian. There was no, even though he spoke with a Scot. So they had that wonderful scene where they're speaking in Russian, and they close in. It's a zoom in to the political officer's mouth as it's an extreme close up, and then it stops, and he switches to English, and they pull back, and from that point on, it's understood that when they're speaking, even though they're speaking in English, it's Russian.
Right.
And it's actually quite a brilliant little technique because, yeah, they're all speaking in Russian initially with the subtitles, right? And then they get rid of that. So
that's
pretty
cool. That's a cool mechanic. I like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's Scottish for the rest of the way.
It's Sean Connery with a hairpiece, man. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Sean
Sit
Connery,
back.
I'm down. Okay, so Godfather after Alien 2.
Oh my God. Really?
Aliens.
You got to
You're
do
drinking-
it, man.
You're drinking that Buckley's a little too hard, bro. You gotta ease off on that Buckley's.
And there it goes right now.
He goes,
Guess so.
another gulp of the devil's cum right there.
Do it.
Also, the Vicks Vapor Rub on toast.
Yes. Fix
On
vapor rub on
toast.
everything. You would have been fixed a long time ago. No, really don't. We don't need it, Paul. We just put it on everything. Put it on your chest.
Good,
You're
yeah.
fine.
No. Yeah,
Put it
as
under
it
your nose
should
when
be,
you go
Ernie.
memes. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're gonna
Yeah.
you do this when you're doing the autopsy, right?
Yeah. But
What?
before you go to sleep, then
No, they do
then you
that in Silence of the Lambs. They've got that stuff, the mint they put under their nose, so that when they're exhuming the corpses or they're doing the autopsy on the corpses, the smell doesn't make.
I've
them
seen some
barf.
people when they work on farms, they do it and like that. Vicks,
Okay.
some 7-Up, you're fine. That's all you need.
What does that do?
Yep. I don't know, but that's all you were given when you were getting sick. Here's some Vicks,
Oh.
mijo. Drink your 7-Up, and you're fine. TV
Here it's,
shows, a blanket, yeah,
Ginger
cured
ale.
everything.
Here.
Ginger ale.
Ginger
Uh,
ale.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale was for a stomach ache. Robitussin is when your parents are going out for the night, so they just loaded you up on that, and people
Fall
know.
asleep.
Yeah, and then the kids were out. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But Dad, I don't have a cough. The kids
you
tired
were
of
knocked
it. Dad,
out.
I don't have a fever.
Kids were knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoko, can we get a side list of movies that we can pull from in the future? So we don't have to like brainstorm a list on the spot. We can just pull one from the unwatched list
Oh, like for both of us? Yeah, we can do that.
for anybody. Just so we don't have to
Yeah.
be like, hey, did you see this? Did you see
Yeah.
this? Like,
No, that's a good idea. We'll have our list, our ongoing list. But
Yeah, but this will get fixed for the podcast anyway. You just press the button, Kevin, and it fixes all this, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Generate
now-
tip.
Edit.
I
Edit
have
button.
6
Magic
days
edit.
for this one. So
Magic
that
edit
does work.
button.
That does
And-
work.
We're done.
I forgot. I had found the list and then I moved, so I have to find it again. But the movies I had watched the last 2 years, like I think there are some on there that would really surprise you that I didn't see before the last few years.
That is
Okay.
crazy.
Like what was the one I told you about? Oh, Indiana Jones, right? Was one that I hadn't
Posted
seen.
on the Boba Squadron podcast.
And
IG.
the Die Hard movies, though, I don't know, with Bruce Willis in the news lately, I was thinking like, man, I can't believe I didn't watch Die Hard until the last year.
That's a Christmas classic.
Yeah, one of the best Christmas movies out
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Grown Ups, Home Alone, I guess. Home Alone is my favorite Christmas movie.
A grown-up Home Alone, I guess.
He's like in the vents and stuff.
Yeah,
You watch it.
setting all the traps for Hans and his crew. Okay.
There's a movie that Home Alone is based on, actually, like a hyper violent movie with a kid in it. It's a European movie. I can't remember what it's called, but that was the inspiration for Home Alone. I gotta find it and track it down.
Was that on
But
the movies that made us? Because I don't
No,
remember
it might have
mentioning.
been on there, but I remember it got released. I'm part of these movie Facebook groups, and it came out on sale, I think, last year, and people were going on and on about, oh, this is the movie that inspired Home Alone. And it's like this hyper-violent movie from Europe where a kid sets all these booby traps for these intruders in his home. So
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, that means I have to watch Home Alone 3, Son of Home Alone.
again, you know,
Son of Buzz.
I just think those aren't the right kinds of movies you're Googling,
Yeah.
Kevin.
I want to watch this everywhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
Oh,
Everything
what?
everywhere. Or something like
Yeah.
that? With
Yeah,
Michelle. Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh
With
and
Michelle Yeoh.
Ki Kwan, Jonathan
Short
Ki
Round?
Kwan. Short Round.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't
What?
know. I keep reading that it's like the greatest movie of all time, though.
It's like a multiverse kind of movie, but then it's Michelle Yeoh, and I don't know. It was limited release at first, and I think the worldwide, like, all theaters release is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it has Short Round in it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in it.
For real?
Real.
Awesome.
It's his first movie back after
Really?
decades of not, like, he stepped away from the acting profession, but mostly because he couldn't find any roles. Like, he wasn't getting cast in anything. He wasn't even allowed to audition for shit. And then so he stepped away. And then, you know, he said he saw Crazy Rich Asians. He was like, I want to come back. And so he got an agent. And that was the first movie he booked.
He needs to make Goonies 2 then. If he's going to come back and do anything, he needs to do Goonies 2.
Paul's in his science folder.
I'm trying to find the name of the movie that inspired Home Alone. I've never heard of it.
Deadly Games.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
This very reliable website I pulled up says John Hughes probably was not aware of this French Christmas horror movie when he conceived
That's
the
it.
idea for Home Alone.
1982, Deadly Games.
The film follows a 9-year-old boy who must fight for survival when Santa Claus shows up at his house, murders his dog, and tries to claim his life as well.
Yeah.
There's a dog murder in there. I'm out.
Santa.
The kid, I was going to say he looks like Rambo. Also, another movie franchise I watched for the first time in the last 2 years.
I need you, John.
Colonel Troutman.
I love that cartoon though, even though no one ever died.
Oh, the Rambo cartoon. Well, like just like in G.I. Joe. Like no one ever died in the G.I. Like thousands and thousands, like the laser beams that they shot at each other.
Yeah,
Planes got shot out
Like,
of the sky.
coming
but they always
from a
ejected.
Rambo movie,
Right.
And now back to the show. That was our commercial break with our sponsored ad from Bitter Asian Dude Inc. You're gonna buy some ad space, right, Paul?
Sure.
Paul
'Cause I
just confirmed a bunch of things during that break.
Yeah, I'm running out of clickbaity titles. People are starting to catch on that these titles are fake. I'm getting a cease and desist from Disney or from Netflix to stop making up Paul headlines. I don't know if you guys, Paul, you're a bit of a gamer. Yoko, you're a gamer. Ernie, I don't know how much gaming you do. Lego Star Wars game, the Skywalker Saga, comes out this week. Is anyone picking it up?
I will.
Probably not. Like I want to, so I've bought other Lego games, and it's like I play it once and then I never go back to it.
It's straight comedy for me. I grew up playing these Lego games with my kids.
Yeah.
So already today, my son called me, and he's 22, and he's like, "Dad, Lego Star Wars," and I'm like, "I know, that's awesome," because he remembers always playing it. Dude, those Lego Star Wars from cartoons to even what you get to play in the video game is straight comedy. I love it. That's why I love playing the Lego Star Wars stuff.
I don't think I'll rush out to buy it. I mean, I just don't have time to play any games right now, so I might get around to playing it. But my memories of that too are playing with my kids, and you know, me doing all the heavy lifting and them grabbing all the friggin' pieces, right? So it's like, all right. So it's always a bit of a bittersweet thing for me. It's like, so I do all the work and I don't get any of the reward. No, the real reward is spending time with my children. But yeah, I can't help but feel like the games are so. I mean, when you've played one, you've kind of played them all. You know, there isn't that much of a huge jump in terms of gameplay or difference, right? And so, yeah, I mean, watching the fun storylines, sort of like Ernie says, the comedy bits are great, but I'm not in any rush to go get it now. Like, I know a lot of people who'd like, oh my god, it's finally coming out. It's 2 years late, but it's finally coming out, and I'm like, cool. But how about that leaked Obi-Wan stuff, eh? Let's watch some of that shit like 16,000 times. No. But yeah, no, it's. I know a lot of people.
It looks fun. Yeah, it's cute, and I wish I would like to be a gamer enough to be excited to play it, but I just know I will play it once and never touch it again, like so many other games I've wasted money on.
Yeah, especially at $80.
I Fallen Order.
Yeah. Fallen Order, I'm telling you, is the only game in my entire life that I have started and finished. Like, it's the only game I've ever played through.
So yeah, I still got to get that. I still got to play all that. So
yeah, before Kenobi.
Before Kenobi,
I think you can get it free on Game Pass. You should check that out.
No, it's already downloaded on the PS4 that I have here. But again, I've just been so stupid busy, and then when I'm not, I'm like super tired, and so I got to sleep and rest instead of play Fallen Order.
Sleep.
So, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's me with. I only have Xbox One.
Yeah,
I haven't got any of the new ones. Yeah, which is I'm cool with. But see, so like ever since I moved, I hooked them up and I still haven't even turned them on. And I used to, I'm a big fighting game. Mine is I grew up on fighting games. Well, like teenager wise, you know, from Super Mario to Zelda to fighting games. I love like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter,
Injustice?
Mortal Kombat.
Actually, I forgot about Injustice. I have played through Injustice and Injustice too.
That's a great one too. Even they did a DC cartoon on it. Yeah. That cartoon is awesome. The game is awesome. I like the Mortal Kombat franchise. And so at least a couple times a night, like you're saying, Paul, like right before bed, I would get in a few matches. And moving here, I haven't even turned it on yet. I don't even know if it can turn on, which sucks. So I haven't even tried that yet.
I haven't set my Xbox up yet either, actually.
Paul, I don't know if you saw this on socials this week. Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, received a box of her Black Series figures. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, I hope the reaction is the same when eventually Carson Teva comes out in any toy format.
You know what he's going to do differently, though.
So I was very excited to see that and hoping it happens for you.
But she didn't open it. She kept it Ernie.
Yeah.
And she said she got like 6 of them.
No?
Yeah.
But she didn't open it.
A lot more. Yeah, she didn't rip into it. She didn't nothing. She kept
and
it.
She called it a doll. I liked that part.
That was pretty funny. I was like, that's cool. And then she shouted out a bunch of toy photographers who'd been tagging her. Yeah. And she shared those on her page. Yeah, which was great, which was amazingly awesome because she likes the toy photography, but she's going to keep hers in the box. So that was cool. I'm all down for it. So that was cool. I love how she threw out that her niece works there. So that's her Hasbro hookup. That was great. Yeah, she had said that.
I didn't realize it was her niece. Is that what she said?
Yeah. So that was awesome because she threw out a hookup right there. Yeah. And I was like, there you go. But then her husband came in to save the day and ordered all those extra for her from GameStop. So that's cool. Which still baffles me that I can't believe you guys don't get merchandise for the things you do. You know what I mean?
That's no, man.
I know.
They don't even tell you if they're gonna. Like, I have no idea.
Right.
Everybody keeps asking me, when is it gonna come up? It's like, I don't know. Nobody tells me anything.
Yeah.
And like none of you. It's when it's like it was before too. It's like you sign away your rights and likenesses. As soon as you sign that contract, they can do anything with your image that they want, right? So they choose to make an action figure out of you. They can, right? And you're not going to get a cut of it.
When it happens, we got your back. All these communities, you're going to have your fill of Carson Teva figures. Don't worry.
Right. And I'll sign all of them. Anybody who asks, I'll sign them.
How much?
$250.
I was just
Make
gonna
sure you
say that.
sign on every single one. You have to write, "This is the first ever copy of a figure signed by me." On
Yeah,
every
on
It'll
single
all be.
on
I
every
better not
single-
see this on eBay.
You'll find them all on Kevin's eBay.
I know. You
Well,
said
we
these were
got
for
you.
charity, Kevin.
You said this is for the sick children, Kevin.
That's a horrible.
Man, it was great. I think Hasbro Pulse shared the photo of her with
Uh-huh.
the figure too. Like it was pretty awesome. Speaking of Pulse, there's going to be some Star Wars announcements on April 6th, but this is coming out after. But so we're going to miss most of that stuff. But exciting, more Star Wars materials. Material sounds weird. Is there another word for content? Media? Media. Let's go with media. Books.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Books.
Books. There was book news this week.
Yoko,
What were you gonna
as the book reader,
as the book reader.
what are some of the titles?
Sure. Queen's Hope is one that just came out. It is a book about Padme. I've read the first two, which I had to Google. Were called Queen's Peril and Queen's Shadow. So they're fun. They're definitely more of a young adult read. But it goes back, more into Padme's life as a senator and the stories of her friendships and her relationships with her handmaidens, and more about Sabe and some of those other characters that you just see glimpses of in the movie. So I think it's a lot of fun to get more of that backstory. I think I'm all for more Padme stories anytime, honestly. And then I think these are just the reissues. I don't want to say just reissues, but some of the legacy books they came back out with.
Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi's one of them. Sorry, I
Cool.
can't.
These are all they call them legends, right? Anything that was
Legends books. Sorry, that's what I meant.
literary pieces from before that are no longer canon after the Disney purchase.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get another chance to get those. I'll probably pick up Kenobi and see how it affects, or if they draw any inspiration from that for the new show.
Yeah.
Do you read in the bathroom, Kevin? Or where?
No, that's when I watch all my movies.
That's what I'm saying. So where do you throw reading in? I don't know if it was the same thing. Like
I read right before bed because it knocks me right out. It's just like me in high school. It's like I read 2 pages and I go, oh, I'm so tired. It's the perfect thing before bed.
Mm-hmm. It is a good thing before bed, though, honestly. Like, stop staring at a screen and look at a book for an hour before you go to bed. Would be great.
An hour?
Kevin's all, it's a solid 5 minutes.
Oh,
I'm getting my PhD. I'm not reading for an hour.
sorry, my bad.
And at that, he's read the same paragraph like 3 times. Every time he's reopened up his eyes, he's just all
No, it's
Kenobi
bad
on a desert.
because you're falling asleep. So when you go read it the next day, I'm like, I don't remember this happening. And I have to go back a little bit more to kind of get back into it.
There's the big announcement today that came out. Picard season 3. You heard about that? Basically the entire cast, Next Generation, is coming back for Picard season 3, which is supposed to be the final season of that particular series. But Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, Gates McFadden, Marina Sirtis, Brett Spiner, and Michael Dorn, the entire cast of Next Generation are coming back for that final season. So big news. A lot of happy Trekkers out there.
Nice.
I get a sense that none of you give a fuck. So let's move on.
I've never seen a Star Trek. Sorry,
I've seen
You haven't? Wow.
not
Okay.
a single one.
It's the only place where we differ, Paul. I am not a Trekkie. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not. I just
Wow.
can't.
I've seen some, Paul.
There you go.
Kevin,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm just kicking ass to get more points. Suck it, you two. Suck it like Ernie's stuck Boba.
My Boba.
Wow.
And
So
he's
not
lying
at
too.
all. No interest in the Trek universe at all from any of you.
Wait, suck it like Ernie stuck Boba? Is that what you said?
Yeah. That's a next t-shirt right there. T-shirt. That's the quote. And it's just me lying on the shirt.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a Nick shirt. No, I don't. From TV show, and then those movies came out, and to me and on my always in my head, I was like, this is weird sci-fi. These guys are trying to be
Really?
Star Wars. Yeah. I never
Star Wars is
I
sci-fi
did
though.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it
saw
predated Star Wars. Right?
I know, but like for the TV shows and like that, I just saw them as TV shows to where Star Wars was, a huge theatrical movie, and then
Right.
it was brought to TV sometimes. And so like that. So seeing those old TV shows and just him, I never got into Star Trek at all.
Wow.
At all. I remember the
I
old
haven't
movies.
tried. I haven't tried to get into Star Trek either.
Right.
I'm sure.
Well, it's one of those things where you can certainly do the abridged version of, just because they weren't serialized in that way. Like you didn't have these overarching, like for the original series, obviously they were like standalone adventures. There were a few story points that were sort of connected, but really you could watch them all out of order and it didn't really matter. You're like, oh, okay, it's just like this. It was the adventure of the week type thing. And then for Next Generation, I mean, that first season was really rough. I'm not going to lie. I didn't enjoy it as much. That show didn't really find its footing until second and third and beyond. And it got really strong as it went beyond and stuff. So I remember watching that and being very fond of that crew, especially from like season 3 onwards. It was cool. And then, of course, with the movies, with the original series, Star Trek The Motion Picture was... Imagine that small little TV show, and suddenly, like you say, Ernie, it's got that huge cinematic sort of treatment. That was a huge sort of like, oh my gosh, this is like, finally they've given it the scope it kind of deserves, right? So the motion picture, while there were moments that were just like mind-numbingly boring, there were some beautiful, beautiful shots, and like really, really the sense of the scope of the show and what it deserved was finally there. But Star Trek 2 really was kind of the best of all of those movies, and that is you have distinct character arcs, growth, death, old nemesis brought back, action, suspense. Like that's the movie I would sort of point to in terms of the original series. And then with the Next Generation stuff too, like First Contact is a fantastic movie, where they they have to go back in time. And so it's a really neat sort of storyline there with that. But I mean, I've loved both franchises. I grew up with Star Wars and Star Trek and Star Wars. Star Trek filled that void for me because it was on TV. It was that sci-fi that I wanted. It was there on a weekly basis. Star Wars, you had to wait 3 years for every movie to sort of come out. And then in the meantime, you had some comic books or this or that. But for that live action fix, it was Star Wars. And so Star Trek. And so I love both. Like I love the fact for me that both for me coexist and take up equal rent space in my mind and in my heart. I mean, right now Star Wars is winning because I'm actually on Star Wars. So,
nice flex.
In hit nudge Star Trek. Let's go. 2 series filmed in my hometown. Nobody's knocking on my door. Anyways, but yeah.
Call me too. No.
I'll be red shirt guy. I'll do it. Go ahead.
What is the premise for the Picard series? I don't
know. I haven't watched it. I've seen parts of the first season. The second season just finished being dropped. They made the announcement for the third season. I want to see it. I haven't gotten around to watching a Picard. It's on my PVR. And it's a time thing. It's one of those things where it's like I don't have time to do that. He says as he's looking at the clock to see when Moon Knight, the second episode, is about to drop. But you find there are things that you find you make the time for. And Picard has, because I haven't caught up in that first season yet. I haven't watched any of the third.
Pushing it out,
yeah. And the same with the Star Trek Discovery. I haven't watched that fourth season at all, but because halfway through the third season, we had to stop because we got busy, right? So,
do you like the Abrams Star Trek?
I do. I don't mind that reboot. It's different. I like how they dealt with the altering timeline. So, like, it's the Kelvin timeline. Like, it's like their multiverse, and so the original universe still exists and is still canon, but they have an offshoot now, and I think that's a really smart way of extending and recasting characters of a beloved series. You just say, well, this is a different timeline of it, and people are fine with it. You know,
I've seen
It's
that
like with
one.
James Bond.
I've seen that one because of Abrams and because of
Right.
the whole timeline thing.
Right.
I like time travel stuff or anything to do with, oh my God, it's a
Mhm.
whole nother universe. So it was cool. And starting off with Beastie Boys is not a bad thing either. So
There you go.
The cool thing about PVRs and some services, Paul, you can install the app on your phone, so you can watch it wherever you go.
As it's meant to be seen, right, Kevin?
Mhm.
What's PVR?
As opposed to never being seen at all.
It's like
just gotta
direct-
do it.
It's like a
Make the
TiVo.
sacrifice.
Okay.
PVR is like a TiVo.
Canadian DVR.
Yeah.
See, and you guys keep saying PVR and all I hear is Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's it. And I'm all, what the hell is going on here?
V.
Yeah.
Oh, PVR.
Yeah.
PVR.
It's like that time you were talking about a jetpack and nobody here knew what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah. You guys really have those in SoCal? Everybody just flies around on a jetpack all the time. Mine's just a little bit bigger, but yeah, it's cool. It gets you there.
If you've been listening to the first 2 episodes, we're trying to bring in a smoother landing the plane in for the outro. But I'm happy we got to record this tonight and everyone's back together, and I'm looking forward to the next day we can do this. And Yoko,
What happened to the 3rd episode? You said the first 2 episodes. Are we not talking about the 3rd episode?
oh, the 2nd and 3rd episode. I don't know what day it is.
Oh.
All of this pre-recording stuff.
I know.
I'm used to going live. This
Our
is all
timelines are
new.
screwy right now, but thank you to everyone for following and subscribing on whatever platform you are watching or listening to us on. Thank you. And if you're not already following or subscribing, please do. Why are you laughing at me? What is wrong with what I am saying? It is a heartfelt show of gratitude and appreciation. And if you're not already, please do it. Thank you. Thank you. I had it until you started laughing and like
We're using it.
I was going to have it down.
I just love the thank you at the end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I love that. Whatever platform and
What? Like, I mean, do you want me to list off everything? I don't even know everything we're on. It just makes it's going to be concise. I'm trying to be concise, and it ends up becoming longer because I have to explain it to you. Everybody else gets it. They're all listening on different platforms.
Yeah, Kevin. Everybody else gets it. Just press your magic button and send it out.